Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day to all the students. Welcome to this BQS 514 research methodology class. For this research methodology, we have two lecturers in charge. That will be myself, Dr. Asma Alia Muhammad Bohari, and my partner, Dr. Sylvia Mong. For this week, the first week, we'll be talking about Introduction to Research. What is research all about? Why do we need to know about research? Why do we have to learn about research? Well, in our daily life, research is very important, especially for us to do and to make a wise decision in our life. Research will help us to determine and to understand the current situation, the problems that occur, the options that we have, the solution that we can take, and how to make a wise and rational decision. Although it's very new to all of you, but you have to remember, expertise is always need to be earned. It won't be given to you. Everything in our life need some effort that we need to learn about it and we need to master it. Okay, so don't give up yet, because this subject will be a very interesting subject. And just to let you know that when you are entering your semester 6 later on, when you are entering your semester 4, you need to produce one research proposal, and when you entering your part 6, you will need to submit your research project. So take this as a preparation for you to enter the research world later on, where you need to conduct your own research based on your interests with the guidance of your supervisor. And let's start. So just a recap. As a researcher, we can have our own profile on a Google Scholar, where you'll be evaluated based on your publications. Okay, and you will have the opportunity as well to join the conferences internationally and locally and meet other researchers all over the world to discuss about the same interests, discuss about the current topics or the current scenario in the world. So it's a very interesting journey. But you have to remember, it is an effort, and you need to earn it in order for you to master it. Why do we do research? The question is, why do we do research? Yes, definitely we do research because we need to find an answer to a problem. It is a solution that we are looking for when we are facing problems. And research will lead you and guide you throughout the process with some guidance and a scientific approach. Research is also to develop a body of knowledge which is unique. Why it is unique? Because research normally aim to find a unique outcome. Something is very new and that can add to the body of knowledge. Okay, what is a body of knowledge? Okay, body of knowledge can be in terms of a journal, manuscript, a report, a dissertation, or a thesis, a guideline, and other forms of publication of body of knowledge, such as books, articles in the magazines, and so on. So, research is a learning process. If you look at the word research itself, true, it's a search. If you cannot find it, you will need to research it. So research is something that we need to organize based on a scientific investigation. In order for you to solve a problem, to test a hypothesis, develop or invent a new product. There are informal research, just like you want to find something about that particular person or a place, you are doing a research as well. But a formal research will need to go through a scientific investigation methodology. So what is scientific investigation or methodology? It is usually a guideline system for solving a problem. Solving a problem and with a specific components, such as there are phases, there are tasks that need to be delivered, and certain methods of collecting information, techniques, and with some tools. In other words, it's a guideline system. So, concept of research. A careful search or investigation, it depends on a pattern or a technique of searching, a location and subject material investigated, and the analysis that being carried out. A systematic investigation, towards increasing the sum of knowledge is the main idea of why we need to conduct a research. So let's take a break for a while, and I would like you to read the cases here. Case 1. Encik Samad prepared a paper on a computer usage in secondary school. After reviewing literature on the subject available in his library and called it a piece of research. I repeat, Case 1, Encik Samad prepared a paper on a computer usage in secondary school. After reviewing literature on the subject available in his university. So, Case 2, Encik Mutu says that he has researched and completed a document which gave information about the age of his student, their SPM result, their parent income, and distance of their school from the district office. Case 3, Encik Lim participated in a workshop on a curriculum development and prepared what he calls a research report on the curriculum for the building technicians. He did this through a literature survey on the subject and by discussing with the participant of the workshop. So, question is, which of these can be classified as research? You can type your answer or your guess in the chat box. Again, the question, which of these can be classified as a research? Is it Encik Samad, Encik Mutu, or Encik Lim? So the answer is that none of the above examples can be classified under the name of research. But the big question here is why? You will know it when you have understood the concept of research. Consider the following case, which is an example of research. A research will always start with identification of a problem. Let's see, the problem that being highlighted here is a general manager of a car producing company was concerned with a complaint received from the car users that the car that produced that have some problem with rating sound at the dashboard and the rear passenger seat after few thousand kilometers of driving. So what is it called a research? So, a general manager obtained information from the company workers to identify the various factors influencing the problem. So that's the first step. So he identified a various factor influencing the problem. What will be the problem? The problem stated was a rating sound at the dashboard and the rear passenger seat after few kilometers of driving. So then he constructed a checklist and obtained requisite information from a representative sample of cars. So he took initiative to find information from the representative sample of cars. He then formulated a problem and generated cases, hypothesis, assumption you call it. Then he analyzed the data, thus collected, interpreted, and result in the light of his hypothesis and reached a conclusion. So this is what we call as a research. And let's go back to these cases. Encik Samad, Encik Mutu, and Encik Lim. All of these three cases are not a complete cycle of a research or what we call as a scientific investigation. It could be a starting point in developing a research. So, the highlighted point here is it went through a sequence of steps which were in order, and thus it's a very systematic process. Secondly, the research did not just jump into a conclusion, but used a scientific method of inquiry in reaching the conclusion. Two important characteristics here is systematic and following a scientific method of inquiry. So, we will continue at part 2, and I hope the student can understand what we have learned in part 1. See you in part 2.